Okay, good morning, guys. Is my screen visible?
Yes, it is.
Oh, great. So, today, what I wanted to chat with you guys is in case the bull run or the last 2 3 months, whatever run we had, sustains and takes the shape of a bull run, then the process of trading and trading should be a little different, because then we have a sustained uptrend. Okay, and so the best way to compound your money during that kind of an environment is to just hold on to 5 to 10 stocks which are clearly the leaders. uh, and if you want to trade, then just trade in and out of those stocks. So then the screening will just be in the initial part of that rally, right? So let's go and look at the indices first. And so when I see the indices, okay, so first of all, I will tell you the layout of the chart today. So there is nothing today, just the price. And you see the yellow line. This yellow line is a Nifty 500 chart, okay? And how I put it is just by using the compare symbol. You put Nifty 500. Yeah, I just put it, and then because it's too bright, what I did is I reduce the brightness here. Okay. So I'll tell you why I want this chart on my screen. Hmm? Then the second one is to have the Mars indicator or the relative strength indicator. So this is the chart layout we are going to use, and so I just want to show you the Nifty 500 chart. So Nifty 500 looks to me that it could be the start of a new uptrend. So had this guy been a stock, the breakout traders would have been so excited to see this chart, because it's a it's a picture perfect head and shoulder, sorry, cup and handle. Maybe not picture perfect, this guy is a little too deep, should be around 30 to 40% of the whole base, but still nonetheless it's really perfect. Okay, so now uh, seeing all this, we now need to see two things. One is what is the leading sectors, and the second is what is the leading stocks. Okay, so one scan to catch all the leaders is you forget everything and you just run the 52-week high close in weekly. Okay, and this hunting we are going to do once a week. uh, so weekly close equals to max weekly close in the last 1 year, in the last 52 week. Okay, so then every week you will get like this many stocks, and you can also see the number of 52-week high closes have been increasing every week, right? So remember, if you remember this graph, since March 15 the numbers were below 25. Just a minute, Anil is calling me. Hello, Anil.
Unable to join. Asking to be let in that meeting.
Oh, unable to join, is it?
Asking to be let in showing.
How about now?
Now okay. Now okay.
Okay, okay, great. Thanks. Sorry about that. So, where were we? Right. Mm, where were we? Okay. So yeah. So that the new uptrend is going to begin, and so we are going to hunt for leading stocks and leading sectors. And this hunting we do in weekly. And if you see, the only scan you need is the 52-week high close, and you can already see that the numbers have been increasing since the March lows. Okay, last week was a small scare because last week the numbers slightly decreased, but again picked up spectacularly again this week. Okay, this last past week, and so you can see that the Nifty 500, the stocks at 52-week high are increasing, which means there is a industry sector level participation in the upturn. But there will be couple of sectors which will be outperforming the others. Like for example, from the 2020 post-COVID, this one, we already know which were the sectors to look for. That was chemicals, specialty chemicals, IT. These were the two hugely successful sectors which clearly outperformed even the strongest of bull runs, which on the indices level, right? So that's the this one, right? So for that, first things first, what we need to do is, so if you ask me, or if you ask me, what is the one character of a leading stock or a leading sector after a downturn? So the answer to this question is very simple. It's relative strength. Okay. By that, what I mean is, if Nifty 500 right now is just breaking out, which are the sectors which have already broken out from a base? Okay. So I'm repeating this again. The way to judge a leader or outperformance is to answer this question right after the market is trying to come out of the base. Which are the stocks and sectors which have already done this? Now, to do that, we can this can be seen in two ways. One is directly the relative strength line below, and the second is just to compare the Nifty 500 graph. Okay, so let's do that one by one. This is Nifty 50, Sensex. Okay, let's see small cap. So you see, small cap is just around the ATH, which sort of similarly looks like the Nifty 500 graph as well. But this particular slope has been outperforming the Nifty 500. Okay, Nifty mid small cap, which is basically the mid cap, is a clear outperformer, right? Because right now the whole the Nifty 500 is around here, just breaking out, but this breakout has happened in mid cap 150 stocks. So we know that out of the small, mid, and this one, mid cap is slightly stronger. Micro caps are even more stronger. You can see that this was the previous high, and we already have like a huge outperformance. Now we are not talking about entering right now, okay? We are just talking right now how to identify the stocks and sectors which have high relative strength, right? So just keep that in mind. IPOs are also starting to perform, and this is also a secondary indicator that the bull run might be there. Why? Because during a bull run, all IPOs do well. Most IPOs do well. Let me correct myself. Most IPOs do well. So this is also one kind of secondary indicator that the bull run might be back. Banks still at ATH. Nifty PSU still at ATH. Private bank at around ATH. So Nifty IT, from at least from the index, it's almost the worst performing sector right now. Why? Because you see, it is still a long way above the previous high. So 38% away from the previous high. So this is a sector which is not performing well. But again, I want to stop you here and think about what I'm saying. I'm just saying that Nifty IT index is a laggard. But does that mean that all IT stocks are laggard? No, because we know that the mid cap and small cap IT names have done spectacularly well, at least during the last 3 weeks. And because a large part of the mid and small cap IT stocks are not in IT index, that's why the index looks like this. Okay, so there are this very small this one. So healthcare has just started to do well. Healthcare has just started to do well, and it's also showing, but it's still not a leader right now. Same with pharma. Same with power. Power is also way below the all-time high. Media as well. Now you see PSC. See, where is PSC as compared to the general market? PSC is already broken out of the previous ATH, right? So, so this sector is definitely a sector which could lead or might already be leading. You might want to note them down, so that noting things down makes it more better to remember. So reality, there is a very strong relative strength in the recent couple of weeks, but it's also hasn't gone through the this one. Now you see this. This is what I'm trying to tell you about. When the Nifty was basing here, see, when the Nifty is basing, so Nifty 500 is basing from this point to this point, right? And it's just starting to get out. What is industrials doing? It started already the uptrend from here. The basing period was actually very small. So when Nifty started basing, it still took it still was in an uptrend. Nifty started basing from October 21. Industrial started basing from January 22. And then the basing period was also very small. It just formed a small double bottom, and then the uptrend again started from last August, whereas Nifty is just starting the uptrend now from March 13. So we definitely know that industrials are already doing well from the graph itself and also from the names which we pick up, right? Now, just to explain you the same data, you also see the relative strength in the mass indicator. And when you see these blue lines, this blue histogram bars, what they show is that this is a outperformer. Mane, when Nifty was, when the market was doing a downtrend, these guys were doing an uptrend, right? So this is an absolute outperformer, which is also the same thing is also shown from here. And now you see during this turn, when everyone is turning up, this guy is turning up more. So clean winners of the bull market, if this bull market has to materialize, should your nigahe should be in industrials. Okay, energy, no. S&P BSE oil, no. See, capital goods. Now, do you see the similarities between capital goods and industrials? Because they are also like similar sectors, right? And the answer is yes. There's similarly, this guy started to basing later than the general market, and this guy started to catch up uh, way before the general market. So S&B, the capital goods sector, chemicals, no, straight no. Why? Because see, even during this one, the chemicals are, I mean, because I have only 10 names of specialty chemicals. Maybe there are some other specialty chemical pockets which are doing well, but the thing is, uh, their run might be stopped, because if it's a sector specific rally, then everyone in from the sector will join the rally, right? So and since these big guys are not joining yet, we will still not look at this sector with a very intense eye. Same goes for sugars, same goes for finance. I mean, I'm not saying that these guys will not perform, but these guys do not have the qualities of a leader. Okay. Telecom is starting its up run, which is also evident from the breadth indicator, but again, it's not a leader. Manufacturing, see, manufacturing has the same graph which the industrials and the capital goods sector has. Okay, so this manufacturing is a leader. No, no. FMCG is a leader and has been a leader since, like uh, this sector is something which I have been posting since 2021. I mean 22, mid 22, when this kind of a breakout happened, and it was very clear that that this guy started the outperformance. So imagine right now there are some sectors which are showing what FMCG is showing here, and which means that this kind of outperformance might be sustained for coming months or even years if the bull market is actually here, right? So FMCG has been a leader since some time now, and the outperform is still visible now. So some names like even the large cap from FMCG sectors has been doing well, and we all know what names like Varun Beverages has been doing, right? So yeah, nope, nope. Infra. So infra has just started the outperformance. Okay, the infra is not as strong as some of the other names we've discussed, but surely it is stronger than many of the names we have discussed. So it's already during this phase itself. Yeah, during this phase itself, there was some outperformance, and now it's already above the previous high or all-time high. Okay, so this is also a very strong sector. Auto, we already know. See, uh, similarly to FMCG, the outperformance started last May, June itself, and then there was a small basing period again, and again it started the outperformance. So it could possibly actually break this ascending channel, in which case it will be a bullish on bullish breakout, right? So if that happens, what could be possible is that you break out and it again comes back and takes support in the upper trend line, and then again a continuous journey upwards. Oh, natural gas, no. Consumption is okay. This surely a sector which also has a higher outperformance relative to the other index. I can imagine it going through this ascending channel. API names are just starting to come back in focus, and this is also visible from this leg when you see a lot of green, this one. So always remember that a sector or a stock which will start to outperform once it comes out from the base. So in this case, API names, this is the base, right? So this is a double bottom kind of base. Whenever it comes out of the base, always see what the volumes are saying. So in this case, the volume is clearly saying that, hey, big money has started to again accumulate this, and now probably after some time it's ready to mark up. Okay, so this is not clearly this is not a sector yet which is shown outperformance, but there are initial signs. Okay. Okay, so that is we've come to the end of this one. So now if you note down, if I note down, then we know that C, capital goods, industrials, um, auto, FMCG. What was the one more sector which showed strength? Infra, right? So these are a few names which we know they are confirmed uptrend, and they broke out from their basis even before the general market did. So now what I'll do is I'll stop, take a couple of questions, and then we will go through which list, this list. 52-week high, because all your winners will definitely come in this list each week, every week. Maybe 1 or 2 weeks they will not come, but as long as the bull run is on, all your winners will be in this list. Okay, so we'll then go through this list. So for before that, let me take any questions if you have. Ayo, so many people cannot join if I don't be in this page. Anyways, okay, questions.
Hi Prakash.
Hi, Sandeep.
प्रकाश ये इंडस्ट्रियल गुड्स और जो कैपिटल गुड्स के जो स्टॉक्स हैं
हम्म
वो सब तो आई थिंक अराउंड 2000-3000 रुपीज का पर स्टॉक
हम्म
है
हम्म
और कैपिटल ऑफ 1 लाख रुपीज
हम्म
इट्स वेरी डिफिकल्ट टू गेट इनटू दैट ट्रेड आई मीन अगर आप 750 का भी अगर मेरा जो स्टॉप लॉस का क्राइटेरिया है
राइट
तो एनीवे आई एम गोइंग टू गेट एनी वन और टू स्टॉक
हम्म
तो इज इट गुड थिंग कि भाई घुस जाओ और देख लो कि क्या होता है क्या अनदर आउट प्रॉफिट
Yeah, I think uh, I get your question, but ऐसा कोई वो नहीं है रे, like अगर देखो, अगर आपको लेट्स से सेइंग 1 लाख कैपिटल, अगर आपको 10 स्टॉक लेने हैं, लाइक पोर्टफोलियो मैनेज करने हैं 10 स्टॉक से, देन इट विल बी डिफिकल्ट, बिकॉज अगर एक स्टॉक 25,000 का आ रहा है तो फिर देन यू डोंट हैव मच लेफ्ट फॉर द अदर 9 स्टॉक्स. बट इफ यू से 5 या 4 करना है, एंड देन यू थिंक दैट ओके, this is a definite leader in my opinion, then for sure एक स्टॉक लेके आप उस पर 25% बना रहे हो या 10 स्टॉक लेके 25% बना रहे हो, दैट शुड नॉट मैटर. सो या नॉट यू पूरा कॉन्सेंट्रेट नहीं भी करोगे तो एक आध तो ले ही सकते हैं. दैट्स माय ओपिनियन.
The reason why I'm asking that is again वो criteria जो अपना है ना कि I will going to invest only this much percentage only on my stock.
हाँ हाँ हाँ, तो देखिए,
जाके सेक्टर बिगड़ जाएगा.
हाँ वो समझ में आ रहा है मुझे, बट अगेन देखो, अगर आप एट द एंड ऑफ द डे रिस्क ऑन योर पोर्टफोलियो 1% से नीचे रख रहे हो, that would still be fine, I would say. So pehle when I was beginning to do all these things, then there was a huge mental block ki acha, I should not put more than 10% of my total cap portfolio in one stock. But as I am more understanding the my own statistics and the general statistics of trading, how it works, actually at the end of the day, risk on your capital per trade is what matters, rather than how much you are putting in just one. So
Yes, got it. This solved the problem.
right. Question. Okay, looks like we don't have much questions, so now let's go
I
through.
think Anil wrote something on
In microcap, which one stock to observe now as the index is moving? Yes, Anil, so let's go and have a look at the 52-week list. I am sure we will see some names, but you guys can stop me there and say that ये micro cap है, ये वो है, because मुझे इतना पता नहीं है कौन सा micro cap है, क्या है. ठीक है, तो ओके, बाय दैट लेट्स बिगिन दी नेम्स. सो मैं क्या किया हूँ, I have already copied this list, 297 list, in our 52-week high close list. You can see in 297. Let's try and go one by one alphabetically, and we will try to identify ये कौन सा sector से है, so that whatever we just did looking at the sector, then we can identify, oh हाँ दिखा रहा है, because सेक्टर्स इंडाइसेस में दिखा रहा है, एंड देन उसके स्टॉक्स 52-week लिस्ट में नहीं आ रहा है, ये पॉसिबल जनरली नहीं है. सो लेट्स डू दैट एक्सरसाइज. सो जस्ट अ मिनट, ये लॉग हटा देते हैं, ऑटो. Okay, so 3M India is around the ATH. So this guy, why is it auto नहीं चाहिए? Okay, ठीक है. So you see that ABB India is already broken out of this kind of base even before the indices broke out. And ये आउट परफॉर्मेंस नज़र आ रहा है बहुत टाइम से. So looks good. I think this is from industrial sector, right? हाँ, so one more thing I wanted to add here. So we as a technical players generally tend to, at least I generally tend to not put much attention on the fundamental side of things, but this is a matter of fact that in the long term, what moves price is earnings, earnings and earnings, right? So if there is a leader which is a sustained leader, for sure fundamentals भी उसके नज़र आ रहे होंगे, that the fundamentals will do good or are already doing good. Okay, so that will help you narrow down the list more. So ABB looks good. This looks that the performance is about to start. This was a clear uptrend, then a basing, and again now the uptrend is see, AI engineer, again this is also I think from the capital goods sector. and outperformance was already seen here. मतलब ये blue color का, you know, which means that these guys were on an uthan, on an uptrend, even when the indices itself were on a downtrend. So again we are seeing those names, pharma, reality, Amy Organics. This guy is probably an IPO stock, and you saw that the IPOs are also now doing good. Um, you know what? I will just निकाल देता हूँ मैं इसको, बहुत तकलीफ कर रहा है. So Anand Raj has been a clean outperformer. Anup, this guy started to hit the screens fairly recently, but this guy looks like looks to do well. Financial the margins have slightly been increasing since the last few quarters. Uh, Income has also been increasing. See, Apar Industries is a capital good name and has been an outperformer since, like, I don't know when. APL Apollo again could actually start the uptrend now. So ऐसा होता है ना कि so this is a base, right? So this is a base, but now why is this base sloping up? Why is this base not like this, or not this is a good base because we can then manage risk. But for the longest period of time I was thinking that APL Apollo is making a stage 3 base, right? And after this it would now go down, but looks like, hey, it's actually, this base is a base, this is a stage 2 base, and this base is sloping up because it has so much of tailwinds, because it has because the people who bought here are actually very slyly buying here as well. So unless and until this guy breaks the breaks this, it is still a very good stock. And outperformance was were again visible, were visible here also when indices fell, but this guy did not. Uh, Hospitals are starting to look good, and then and if it were so, then this is another name, because you see a base ke, now we are building the right side of the base, and the volumes are so good in the right side, meaning that there are green towers and the red towers are actually huts, you know. So this is one factor to look at. uh, Hospitals may not be outperforming right now, but if it starts and the healthcare starts to make a new ATH, then you will have to then figure out which hospitals are the one which are showing outperformance. Apollo Hospital surely looks like a good bet. See, Apollo Pipes, this has just started its uptrend now, and you can imagine that this uptrend will sustain if the general market also sustains. So that is why, rather than putting your money in stock which is actually here somewhere, which is far away from your this one, to put your money here would be a better idea. uh, Apollo Tires similarly broke out from ATH way last November itself. uh, Artemis Medicare has been in an uptrend, is in IPO base, has been in an uptrend, has already been like 2x from the IPO base. uh, Arvind Smart Spaces, so this also reached the previous high last to 2021 itself, and then I don't like this base, but looks like the uptrend will follow in this kind of a channel. um, yeah, so this is another name. This was the previous high, got broke out, formed another base, and looks like it's going to be the um, so this guy again has been in a uptrend since post COVID, and then it started to base. So the basing area would be this, and then there was a breakout here. So things which broke out in and around the indices would be the names to follow, right? See this guy, I'm not saying that this guy will not go on, but it might यहाँ पे आके क्या करेगा, it will the concept is that overhead supply. People who bought here are eagerly waiting for it to come to their price, and then they will dump their shares. So, but a stock like this, there is no clear overhead supply anywhere. Whoever bought Orion Pro right now, except for those couple of people who bought at 1043, are in a profit. So why will they sell? Except for a couple of retailers who will be like 10-5% में ले लेंगे. These guys have no reason to sell. Okay, so that's the concept of overhead supply, and that is why buying here is not good, because then you will meet overhead supply at 1060. Axis Bank is a bank which looks well in as compared to all the private banks. So I like this. Axis Cades, I have been yeah. So Axis Cade could now start its outperformance, right? Yeah. Nope. Banker products. Yeah, possible. It just started a new ATH. Nope. Brand concepts. Brand concepts, again, this is an IPO stock, has been outperforming. There was a substantial amount of base formation here, and then broke out to new high. So looks like the defense sector is here to stay, guys. Many people, probably even me, I thought that okay, maybe it has already done its run, and then there was a lot of selling volumes in the base, in the recent base. So you can see that these volumes are quite substantial when they sold, but again at the right side of the base the selling volumes died down, and then we now have a sustained uptrend. So it could mean that there is still so much course for the defense names to run up. Vector Food, I think this is probably FMCG. So we know that how FMCG names look like, and this has started to outperform. So people here would have probably sold thinking that अरे बहुत लंबा चल गया. It's also now around the ATH, and it will थोड़ा सा supply आएगा. क्या supply आया इधर, कुछ नहीं आया. So now this is a bullish on bullish breakout, right? So most names, most leaders which will go on and double, triple, fourple your money starts their uptrend using a BOB. They start their uptrend using a breakout, bullish on bullish breakout, and they also end their stage 2 using a BOB. So that's a type 2 BOB. And for sure, I think this can even do well. I mean, again, all of these things will happen if the market sustains. Okay, if the market sustains the bull run. So that's the मान के चल रहा है कि वो होएगा. Same thing देखो BEL में क्या हुआ. This was a nice base, and back to ATH फोड़ने के बाद तो अब पता नहीं है रुकेगा या नहीं, right? So so this is what I was also trying to talk to you guys about. So see, the thing is, for a new position here, obviously risk reward is not great, because risk reward great कब आता है, where there is a tightness in price, then we can comfortably place our stop losses below. But in this case there is no tight place, but we can still take a position if your thinking is a little long term. And then so all you have to do is manage your risk, manage your R in terms of total portfolio. So let's say अगर आपको टाइट प्लेस इधर मिल जाता 108 पे, अगर टाइट प्लेस मिल जाता where you could put your stop loss, then the only difference is you could have added more number of stocks, but you can still have a stop loss here which would be too wide. Let's say बहुत ज़्यादा वाइड हो जाएगा 22%, but let's say you can put something here, take a 10% of wide stop loss and still size it up to 10% of your portfolio, which would then still make the risk on total capital less than 1%, right? So छोटा सा एक position could have made. I mean, all of these things is this is if you like the stock, right? So that's a big criteria. If you like the stock, not interested, not interested. BL Kashyap and Sons. So you see, this is a very nice base, very nice base. When this was happening, the red towers were almost non-existent, and then when we started to form the right side of the base, we started to have green more than red, and then again the red volumes are disappearing, and then we are now in an uptrend. So I don't know what BL Kashyap does, but it looks good. BLS International. Now you see, BLS International is just trying to get out of the base now, and looking at the prior uptrend, we know that people already like this stock. Looking at the fact that when the whole indices were doing a 20% deep base, this guy did not. And now also the base is probably less than 10%. So let's quickly calculate. So this is about 25%, but still looks good, because you see, when this base was happening, the red volumes were not that great, and now at the right side of the base we have the money coming back from the green towers. So it looks good. Again, I don't know what BLS does, but with a little more information on the so this you blue star, ये perfect example है of BOB. BOB माने bullish and bullish breakout. So this was already in an ascending channel से भी breakout हो गया इधर, and breakout होने के बाद it took support 1, support 2, maybe third support, but at some point of time it is going to break out from something like this, and then we will start the uptrend, right? So now you see, this guy will also start to curve up. Already started today. Last week candle was a nice candle, which means that we already know that RS, relative strength, is already high, but it's again will probably start to pick it up. Yep. So Brigade Enterprise is in a ascending channel, small ascending channel. I believe that the breakout is going to come here also, because I think these are realty stocks. Realty is also starting to like do well. See, Britannia FMCG name, FMCG names. So from here, from not that point, from here the our indices are around here, which means that the previous high after the कोविड ये इधर पे था. अब देखो ब्रिटानिया क्या कर रहा है. ब्रिटानिया ने ये हाई तोड़ दिया लास्ट नवंबर को, and then it retested, and then now it's in an upswing again. So this is clear because FMCG is showing that kind of a strength. So Britannia. So if you are a large cap guy, so also then choose your names accordingly, right? Canfin Home looking good. Carbo Random Universal. I think this is a capital good stock again, and you can see that outperformance started from here, whereas our Nifty 500 अभी इधर है, ये बंदा निकल गया. ये this is actually our CCL, but ये US वाला CCL ही आता है. So let's see how CCL looks like. So CCL products, I think this being a FMCG name, has started outperformance since from here. Okay. So okay, how are we doing with time? Centum. This Centum is also again like this base. This base is such a big base, almost 7 years. This one, right? So I'm pretty sure that Centum has just started its outperformance, and so now the question is like, after seeing this base, can you have a idea कि Centum कितना लंबा जाएगा? And the answer is yes. This might not be true every time, but if you just see the depth of the base, which is 689 rupees, then if you subtend 689, this is one way to say that okay, 689 ऊपर तक तो जाएगा. And the second is just subtend it in terms of percentage. So अगेन दिस इज़ नॉट वेरी हार्ड एंड फास्ट कि इधर तक ही जाएगा या इधर तक जाना ही है, बट जस्ट फॉर यू टू गिव गिव अ फ्रेम ऑफ रेफरेंस फॉर विजुअलाइजेशन कि इफ़ यू आर इन already in centum thinking that this guy is a winner, sorry, not winner, it's a leader, then these kind of targets will give you a frame of reference कि अच्छा चलो इधर तक तो जा ही सकता है, और या इधर तक maximum जा सकता है. So this is to help you in that regard. Sometimes they reach, sometimes they don't. Cambond has started its outperformance. It already broke out from here, so this would have been a great place to enter, you know. Yeah, this guy is also really strong. You can see the outperformance, you can see green coming more. Bigger the base, bigger will be the move. Okay, just remember this. Whenever you see a base breakout, you see how big the base is, and then you will know how long it can go. So same thing, you can now extrapolate or subtend this from here, and that is how long it can go. Coforge, Quartz cable, yeah, Quartz cable is also, again, like these are probably proxy to Indian infra and whatever is going to happen in India as an economy. So all the cables, KEI and all of that, uh, uh, absolute outperformance. uh, base base breakout, base breakout. So these are capital goods names, again, like has been outperforming since a long time. So one could call this a BOB breakout, right? So this was in a this one ascending channel, the ascending channel. This one did not go niche tak, and already found support here. This was a cue saying that okay, this guy doesn't want to go back, and then eventually break out, support, second support, and now gone. So you see, what I'm also trying to show you is that uh, how much ever you don't understand why these patterns form, but the patterns form and they repeat. uh, you cannot deny that. And once you understand that after this point that there are only this many possibility of things happening, then you can and then it actually helps you trade these patterns. Okay. Yeah, Scient has broken out here. This also was a BOB, bullish on bullish. You can see this in daily. So ACR, one to third touch was a ACR entry, even here, and then eventually it broke out. This is small ACR. Sorry, bullish on bullish. So Scient looks good. Now possibly it can come and hit this trend line, imaginary trend line, and then it will again start its journey. So I will not be able to go through the all 289 names, but the session was more to show you how to know that this could be a leader. Okay. And summarizing everything, you will always find leaders in this scan, because leaders will continue to make 52-week highs, and they will never stop unless until they are basing or coming down. And the second thing is, the idea of a leader is that it will, whenever the indices is falling, it will fall less, and whenever it is breaking out, it will break out faster or earlier than the index. Okay. So those are the two things by which you can understand. And then obviously the fundamental people in the group can see the fundamental data of the stock, and that will give you more confidence कि this is लंबा रेस का घोड़ा, and maybe I should not go in and out on this stock and rather hold it for the entirety of the move. So I'll stop here, and maybe we can take some questions. Guys, any questions? How many continuous week one sector should perform so that it can be termed as a leader? Um, so there is no hard and fast rule, right? A leader has to just display the characteristics which I mentioned. One is that it has to be outperformer, like that's the bottom line, and that can clearly be seen by what the leader is doing as compared to the general market. If the general market is falling 36%, and if it is falling only half, then this could be a leader. If the general market is making a move which is 60%, yo, and this guy which only fell minus 25% is now moving more than that, this is leader characteristics basically. And one another factor is that yes, leaders will only come from sector which is displaying a pan sector move. ठीक है, माने कि Changumangu name from that sector is also making the move. So for example, one of the sector like that is the cable sector, which we have seen. Anything which has a name called cable at the back is probably moving, right? Similar moves we also seen in like in the recent past, any defense name, any railway name. So these are sectors, pan sector movement, and leaders will definitely come from a sector which is which in which all the names are moving. I hope I answered your question. Rahul says two charts, Dixon and Delta Core. Let's look at them. Dixon Technologies. So Diction technology is showing a COC. It's called change of character, right? So what's happening here is definitely not a leader. Okay, that much is clear, because it's still far away from the ATH. But it's a great stock apparently, and the great stock was in a downtrend. Downtrend started from here, because yeah, this was the previous swing high. Previous swing high got broken here, or at least the trend line got broken here, and then we started in a downtrend. Then we formed a low, then we form a lower high, then we form a lower low. Now what's happening is it has broken out of this descending channel. uh, it might, or yeah, it already got some supply at the previous resistance. uh, now what you can, okay, now what you can see is that I can imagine inverse head and shoulders forming here. This is the head, sorry, this is the shoulder, this is the head, yo, and possibly another shoulder, and this base breakout would be a great base breakout. But अगर already breakout हो चुका है, that would also be a breakout, because this is a nice base, and then you can say that okay, this looks like a double bottom, wherein the second bottom was a little deeper than the first. Okay, so these are the only two things. If Dixon has to go on and do well again, these are the only two possibilities that can be there, right? The possibilities would look a little different. मतलब कभी कभी क्या हो सकता है, it can go here and here and then blah blah blah. Sometimes sometimes it will not go, it will after the breakout it will come back and base some more time here. All those are details, but the two thing can happen is it can break out, or it can base before breaking out. So that's Dixon, and the other one is Delta Core. So Delta Corp looks like, see, Dixon यहाँ पे अभी right now, and the difference in Dixon is this is the second जो second bottom था वो, which was deeper than the first bottom. Delta Corp में ये bottom is not very deep, and this was already a sign, because what happens is why is this bottom not as deep as the previous one? Because demand already came in this level, and rather at 137, demand came at 174, which means that okay, people with big money already see now Delta Corp as a very lucrative deal. Okay, and the breakout has happened. Now the possibilities are, of course, once there are multiple possibilities in here. Sometimes what happens is if the strength is very strong, then this guy will go on, maybe have some supply here and then again come back, and then eventually again break out. Or it might also just meander around here and then again break out. Anything can happen. But what can also happen is that you have now the possibility of something like this. Okay. uh, and this is again a possibility. Just because let's say tomorrow, or tomorrow means like in the coming time, and delta coral does this is still okay for the long run. It can again come and do this, uh, and eventually do this also. So these are a couple of possibilities, but just from looking from the price and volume action, this looks good. uh, the second bottom जब form हो रहा था, you look at the volumes were with every down candle, the volumes were getting smaller and smaller and smaller, which means the supply was getting absorbed and absorbed and absorbed. So Mars indicator, which one you are using? Mars indicator, there is only one Mars indicator, and that is by finally Nitin. I'll show you here. MARS, moving average relative strength, by finally Nitin. Okay, any question, guys?
Prakash Sandeep.
Hi, Sandeep.
Again, even though there is a breakout in the weekly chart,
Hmm.
it is better to wait for our setup to form in the daily chart.
Of course, yeah. So it's right. Sorry, I'll let you complete your question.
I mean, I don't want to be in hurry and breakout at this. I want to wait for my own setup then.
Yes, yes. So whatever we're discussing today is not from like of a point of view कि entry लेना है, but ले सकते हैं एक. That is what we mean. And of course, everyone here will have their own setup, or at least that's what I encourage you to do. Okay, have your setup. Just because today in discussion this looks like a leader, no point of like going in, because if it's not your setup, then you don't know how to manage your setup, right? And what is my setup? My setup, you guys all know now, is I like flags, and I like to take entry not on breakout but on pullbacks, right? So that is what I think I do good or well, or at least I that suits my personality, mentality. Whatever suits you, you should do that. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. ch- 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 okay, Mars indicator. Okay. All right, folks. If we don't have any questions, we'll stop here. But before that, I made something called HPA watch list for everyone. So these these names I will be maintaining every day. I'll try to update it by 3:20 or 3:30 before the market closes. But sometimes, if I don't get time, then by the day end, I will definitely do it. And in due course of time, depending upon what uh, the the people in the HPA group requires, I will add more tabs here. So for example, right now we have a HTF name. So all of these names will be the high tide flags in the market. And to be honest, this itself is enough for us to catch the leaders. Why? Because in the high tide flag list, one of the item or one of the condition is that it has to be around, not less than, not more than 25% below the height, below the 52-week high. So most of the names are already around HTF, sorry, around 52-week high. Shakeout, some people might also use shakeouts. So and the triple B name, although if you don't yeah. So these are the names. And uh, uh, if you need more tabs, just let me, and I will also make sure that we have that here. I see no more questions. Then let's finish the session, and wish you a happy Sunday. Bye.
Same day, Prakash. Thank you very much.
Thanks, man. Thanks. Have fun. Bye bye.